Kusa Gambakwe media Kaunesha kaitike kula wayo Mayutaka kumbuka Anzi kumandio njio Anzi anopikisa wese tombate kwio Neiva herere machirita mchio Nikuta urane anufunge pwezi shaka wanda Bamweba notike.
Right, 12 June 2025, and today I'm very excited to be giving you yet another update on all the important and trending news in Zimbabwe and Africa. And here on Gambakwe, you always hear the news that is inside and not outside. So let's get started. Today is a very important day, and particularly Nyokayemabhunu is going to be hearing his fate. He's going to know if he's going to be released or not. I believe that there is a big chance that Nyokayemabhunu will be released on bail today. And that brings with it its own complications. Today, you're going to realize that maybe it was better when Nyoka was inside than when he's outside. The complications that are going to arise are so much, and many people don't understand the implications of the release of Nyoka. The release of Nyoka is the beginning of the removal of Mnangagwa. Nyoka is a very powerful figure with a huge following, and young people are galvanized by his speeches and his updates. Mnangagwa will not allow it. Mnangagwa will do everything in his power to make sure that Nyoka stays inside, including buying people, including scheming, including doing all sorts of shenanigans. That is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is a very tricky customer. He's not someone that you must take for granted. And one of the things that I'm going to exclusively review here is that a few weeks back, Mnangagwa has sent a person, someone in the military, to meet some of the lawyers of Nyokayemabhunu in Johannesburg. And we don't know what has been discussed with these lawyers. We don't know what was the meeting about. And all we know is that the meeting has taken place. However, the lawyers that we've appointed, that you know, that I talk to every day, were not part of this meeting. So I do not know what the meeting was about. But what I know is that Mnangagwa is certainly trying to influence the case. He's also trying to influence the lawyers in terms of what they do with Nyokayemabhunu. So this is an exclusive piece of information. You can do whatever you like with it. But what you must know is that Mnangagwa has sent someone, and that person has met some of the lawyers of Nyokayemabhunu inside of Johannesburg or Gauteng. And we do not know ourselves. There was a specific instruction that Gambakwe must not be invited. So I was to be specifically not invited to that meeting. However, that meeting has taken place, and we don't know what the implication of that meeting is. And the people who attended that meeting have not told us what the meeting was about. So that is what I have to give you as an update regarding that meeting that took place between some of the lawyers of Nyoka who are part or who were part of the legal team. And these don't include the lawyers that we are using ourselves. So I don't know what they discussed, and I don't know what that was all about. But take note that Mnangagwa will not allow Nyoka to just walk out. He's going to do everything in his power to make sure that Nyoka doesn't come out and become a problem for him. And we are going to see a lot. Today is a very important day. Whatever happens today is very significant. Politically, inside of Zimbabwe, Nyoka is no longer a small player. He's a big, big player. And Mnangagwa is now putting as many resources as possible so that they can stop Nyoka from getting out and becoming a problem to him. So let's watch. I'll be back here within the next few hours with an update. We are only a few hours away from understanding what is happening today. This case is no longer a small case. It's probably the most important case in the history of change of Zimbabwe. Now, let's quickly go through stories. I've got a lot of stories to cover. And then I want to take a break I want to start with the meeting between Mnangagwa and Ray Collins of the UK. The British have come to Zimbabwe and met Mnangagwa. They had a closed door meeting. The British are making a big mistake in Zimbabwe. So they believe that they can work with Mnangagwa. However, that is a mistake. Mnangagwa is gone. So Mnangagwa, these are his last days. And the British, if I was the British, I would be smart enough to stay away from any agreements with Mnangagwa. I think the approach used by the Americans is much more better, which is to stay back and stop endorsing Mnangagwa. The British are basically endorsing Mnangagwa. You should have seen the speech by Ray Collins. He's basically saying Mnangagwa is a good guy and they want to work with him. That is not true. Mnangagwa is involved in human rights violations. He rigged the elections. And Mnangagwa has got people in jail right now from 31 March. We still have people who are in jail in Bulawayo and also in Gweru. Mnangagwa has also arrested multiple people. Over 400 people arrested over the past 2 years for protesting. And the murder of Pastor Tafmane Masaya has not been investigated. We have written to Parliament. We have written to the presidents of all SADC. And Mnangagwa has still not investigated the murder of Pastor Tafmane Masaya, who was campaigning in Mpofu when he was killed by a close ally of Mnangagwa's children, who is called Scott Sakupanya. So this is crazy. And you cannot believe that the British think that Mnangagwa is doing a good job or is someone that has got democratic credentials. It's not true. Mnangagwa is a dictator and a dangerous killer and someone who violates human rights. On top of that, Mnangagwa has rigged the elections in Zimbabwe, and SADC has produced a report. No observer mission that came to Zimbabwe said the elections in Zimbabwe was free and fair. So I don't even know what the British are doing in Zimbabwe. That is crazy. Then let's go to Zimpapers. If you go to the Herald newspapers today, you will see that over 20 journalists from the Herald, or in fact, Zimpapers, are currently in China. They're on a 2-week seminar. So you can go check it out. All the names are over there. These are the people that are currently in China on a seminar, on a 2-week seminar from Zimpapers. Then in terms of police, the policeman you're seeing on the left was on the run and he has been caught. That is Prince Ndavambi. He killed a suspect in cells in Rua. So you can see who is his lawyer. That guy who is his lawyer is one of the most dangerous gunmen that you have ever seen. Now you remember, he had a shootout with robbers where 7 robbers were killed. So that is Prince Ndavambi over there. And check out who his lawyer is. So Ndavambi has been granted $300 bail and is now loose to move around. It's crazy. I cannot believe that they granted this guy bail after he escaped after killing a suspect in prison cells. Then in Africa, let's go to business. This is bad. Guys, this is bad. What is happening to MultiChoice is shocking. So MultiChoice runs DSTV and all the other channels. They've reported a massive loss, dangerously massive loss. They've lost over 2 million subscribers and their loss is huge. In terms of exchange rate losses, they've lost over 10 billion rands. And you can see that their revenue here is about 50 billion. However, there is a lot happening here in these numbers. They've moved from a profit position to a loss position. And this is because of what is happening with entertainment. No one watches TV. I have never watched TV this whole year. And no one cares what happens with their series and all that. It's all crazy. And then going to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, which I'm displaying here. Let's display the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. What's happening? Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, display. Right. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is failing to pay PPC Cement 461 million rands, or approximately $20 million from repatriation, so money that is supposed to be sent to South Africa from PPC Zimbabwe. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe does not have money. So all that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is saying is fake. The ZIG currency is a joke. It's a fake currency. No one can use it. And they are currently sitting on $2 billion, which they are failing to send out. So investors who have put money in Zimbabwe are failing to take out $2 billion. So go check out that story inside of the Newsday newspaper. It's terrible. What is happening? The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is in a deep crisis and there's no foreign currency. The ZIG rate is fake. So that whole thing is fake. And no one likes it. No one likes the ZIG. It's a fake currency. And then in terms of South Africa, 50 people have died yesterday. This is the worst weather-related deaths that has happened in Eastern Cape. That is in the OR Tambo district, where school children and villagers have died after rescuers failed to reach them because of severe weather. So over 50 people dead yesterday, and rescuers are currently taking out bodies from homes, from flooding and snowing. So you can see that there's snow here, and there's also flooding. Water is getting into homes and killing people inside here. The flooding was bad, resulting in police and rescuers failing to reach the people. Look at that snow. You cannot believe that this is South Africa. However, this is nothing compared to what has happened in Nigeria, where 700 people have died yesterday because of severe weather. So you can go check it out. We have got some of the worst weather taking place right now at the moment. But what's happening in South Africa is worse, because this is generally because of poor planning and lack of disaster preparedness. So there's lack of disaster preparedness inside of South Africa. Then in Kenya, a young woman who created an online platform for citizens to oppose the finance bill, Rose Njeri, has been arrested, and she's been talking a lot. There is massive protest in Kenya over the arrest of Rose Njeri. You can go check it out. It's a trending topic all over in Kenya. And then going back to South Africa, Mzamo Buthelezi, the Minister of Public Service and Administration, has announced that there is going to be changes in how foreigners work in the government of South Africa. So according to his announcement in Parliament, there is a proposal that foreigners should only be given 3-year contracts so that they don't work for a long time, especially in the health sectors and education sectors. Currently, there are 6,000 foreigners working in these sectors, and locals are saying that this is not necessary to have so many foreigners working locally. That is 0.1% of the South African workforce. And these people are doctors, nurses, specialists, pharmacists who work in the government of South Africa, teachers, maths teachers, English teachers. So due to the uproar in South Africa, Mzamo Buthelezi says there is now a consideration that only 3 years, that is how long a foreigner should work inside of the government of South Africa. That is a contract of 3 years. However, this is nothing because the biggest problem is arisen whereby there are new BEE laws in South Africa, which requires any company with 50 employees or more to have a representation or quotas at all levels, so that Black people can also go into senior management. And today, an announcement has been made that these laws are going to be challenged by the National Employers Association, NEASA, which says that it makes no sense to make a quota for how many employees you can have at various levels. So each company is supposed to classify itself into one of 18 economic sectors and they must now make sure that they've got the same number or the correct number of black employees according to the population of South Africa. So this is crazy, but let me tell you what the problem in South Africa is. The problem in South Africa is lack of access to capital. So the South African economy is being hammered. The economy is not functional, the economy is not growing, and no new companies are coming up. So no new young people are coming into business. If you go to any bank, you won't be able to get a loan for a business. They'll give you a loan for a car, they'll give you a credit card, they'll give you everything else. But there is no access to capital in South Africa. The government of South Africa has got no plan for how to start new businesses. So there is a scramble for the few jobs that are left. Unemployment is now at 43% and it's growing. So every day unemployment is growing in South Africa. And then in government, there is lack of capacity. So most government departments are not functional. There are many people in acting positions. There are many suspended people for years. And there is too much unionization inside of the government department, that is provincial government and national government. So the South African government is not functional, especially at an administration level. There is a lot that is not working in the South African government. And if this continues, because of lack of capacity, the South African government itself faces administrative collapse. So that is what is going to happen. Things are not improving, and there are no checks and balances in terms of improving this situation. So the 6,000 foreigners working in the government or the quotas are not the problem. What you are seeing here is a structural issue in the South African economy. Failure to bring about new jobs because you can't produce new companies. If you want to have new jobs, you must have new companies. You cannot blame anyone else. That is the problem that we have in South Africa. The country is heading in one direction. That is the direction of Zimbabwe. You're going to see what is going to happen in the next 10 years. Come back to South Africa and look. If they don't fix the lack of access to capital, you're going to have a massive problem. You're going to have unemployment of over 60 to 70% in South Africa. Terrible. All these plans that these guys have got don't make any sense. President Mnangagwa, doing very, very well, is in New York. He has been given an award yesterday. So that is for his work on natural diamonds. President Mnangagwa, amazing president, I like him. And he's been recognized by the World Federation of Diamond Bosses Presidents, where he received that award that you're seeing there. And he also spoke. So President Mnangagwa addressed the meeting in New York yesterday. ICE is continuing with the raids. Guys, what is happening in the United States is shocking. There are thousands and thousands of people who are not documented, who are working for years and years in America. And yesterday, I was just watching as people came out of hiding as ICE was raiding factories. In one place, they found 70 people with no documents. So that company is basically closed. Now, I don't know what to think about ICE, but America is the home of capital. If you want to do something in your life, you certainly need to be in America. I don't know how they're going to deal with this issue of documents. Also, the cost of living in America had gone up significantly due to so many people coming to America without documents. And as Trump would say, a lot of people will just walk in and live in America with no documents for years and years. So I don't know if they're going to manage this. Millions and millions of people over there who don't have documents. Now let's go to the Harare Institute of Technology. They've issued a call for abstracts embracing artificial intelligence and financial inclusion in the fight against non-communicable diseases in undeserved communities. You can go check it out there. So these are the topics that are displayed on the screen. Go check them out. Leveraging AI for equitable health solutions, integrating financial inclusion strategies, barriers to NCD management. So go check it out. If you want to provide an abstract $200, sorry, for international and $150 for local. Maybe they should have made it free for the local guys, because I don't think there's anyone in Zimbabwe with $150. That's a lot of money. That is crazy. I don't know why HIT would put so much money for locals. Right, now let's end up with the elections. The elections that are being called for in Gutu, Marondera, Chiredzi, and what is the other place there? Let's see what is the other place. And Mazowe. So if you want to become a candidate, go over there and you'll be able to contest. There are a lot of people that want to become MPs and councillors. That is your chance. And now let's quickly look at the newspapers. I want to quickly look at the Chronicle newspaper of Zimbabwe. But before I go there, former President Lungu, his body has not been moved to Zambia. The family of Lungu is now making alternative arrangements. They don't want to talk to the people from government. So the family of Lungu has rejected dialogue that was started yesterday. Haimbe was sent over to South Africa to discuss with the family and they refused to talk to him. President Hakainde Hichilema then sent another delegation made up of 2 vice presidents. That is Inonge Wina and Enoch Kavindele, as well as the cabinet secretary, Patrick Kangwa. However, the family of Lungu has refused to talk to these people. They said Lungu came to South Africa as a private citizen, and therefore he must go back home as a private citizen. They are refusing to negotiate. They are refusing to talk to anyone. In fact, they are playing hardball, and they are holding the body of Lungu hostage in South Africa. I cannot believe it. You cannot hold a body hostage like what these guys are doing. It's shocking and unbelievable. And to see that President Hakainde Hichilema is doing all this work, but they don't even want to listen. I think if it was me, I'll just let them do it. Do whatever they want to do. But the thing is, the people of Zambia are demanding that this body be buried as a national. He's a national figure. He must be buried as a national figure. The churches in Zambia have said they are now going to intervene. And the Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia has said they are now going to be part of the mediation to make sure that this family sees sense. What they're doing makes no sense. And I think President Hakainde Hichilema has done enough to make sure that Lungu gets buried with the dignity. But they don't want, they are refusing to see sense, and they're playing hardball, as I said, holding that body hostage. Unbelievable. And at this particular point, when people are mourning, I don't think this is right. What is happening here? The family must see sense, and I hope that the church manages to convince them to release the body and send it back to Zambia. As I said, let's look quickly at the Chronicle newspaper of Zimbabwe. Let's see if we can find that newspaper. Let us look at the Chronicle. There's this particular story that I'm looking for, and I'll let you guys know if that story is there or not. So quickly, Chronicle Zimbabwe. What is Chronicle Zimbabwe saying today? I would like to appreciate all the newspapers are now publishing on time. Good job, Genfan. Otherwise, vanodzingwa vapana ava vanorara sterek. Too much kurara. Kurara isusu torara 1 hour tomwa mubve tomuka, but ivo vanoda kurara the whole night. Say azvigoni. Let's look at the newspaper here. Right. Mnangagwa with Ray Collins, as I said, what a mistake that they're making. Chabangu divorce role in controversial BIO Junior Council patron removal. The controversial ouster of Bulawayo City Council's Junior Council patron, Councillor Perseverance Nyati, and the swift replacement by proportional representation Councillor Mercy Furanai has escalated into a political row after CCC Secretary General Chabangu publicly distanced himself from the debacle. So go and read that story in the Chronicle newspaper. And then Milton High School teacher granted $300 bail. So I know Tyson Lunga is watching me. Zidzoro, Zidzoro, Tyson Lunga, Ndiyakubata, Unokuara. So Tyson Lunga has been granted $300 bail. We don't like him. I don't like what he's doing. I don't like what some teachers are doing in Zimbabwe. So the teacher at Milton High School, Tyson Lunga, who was facing accusations of indecent assault and soliciting favors from learners at the boys-only institution, has been granted $300 bail. Lunga, 36, was released on bail, and that was in the afternoon yesterday, after he's been in jail since, and will be back on 25 June. So let's see what else is here. Lunga also serves as a pastor at one of the country's largest Pentecostal churches, and who volunteers with the Scripture Union, was arrested last Friday. So let's see if there's anything else here of interest. Right, I think everything is about what you said yesterday. He is going to be back in court on the 25th, on the 25th of June. That is Lunga. As I said, Zoro, we don't like you. So I don't like what he's doing because he's doing it to kids. So I hope that he never, ever goes back to that school. Right, I don't think we have to say more about this. I was looking for this story here. Let me show you what story I'm looking for so that you guys can also go and check. Joe Gabuza. Remember, Joe Gabuza was beaten up after he was in another men's house, Ainda Kumvanayake, and he was beaten up over there. That story is not there in the newspaper. As soon as I get it, I'll ask the guys to read it out for you. So that is crazy. What is happening in Bulawayo is shocking, and we need something to be done at our schools and in our communities. Right, I think I've covered most of what I wanted to cover here. And as usual, Gambakwe Media giving you the news when it happens. And also, so that when you wake up, you know what is important. We like Gambakwe, but we want truth and transparent news. He's a journalist. We will never get out. There is no hostage. It is within their right as a family. That is Muruma Oko. As long as he's still reporting with our country, we'll be there. Thank you. And let's see. People want to down you, Gambakwe. No, they don't want to go down me. It's Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa doesn't like a free press. Whoever said Gambakwe is Chigaranda is just fooling himself. Yes, thank you very much, Ngoma Obed. And what we're going to do is that as soon as Nyoka comes out, we're going to make an announcement. We are not going to allow pretenders to take or to sneak into power. There are people who are trying to sneak into power. We won't allow them. So people like the G40 guys, they want to sneak into power. They want to go in with Mnangagwa. We won't accept people who negotiate with Mnangagwa. After all the work that people have done, you go and negotiate with Mnangagwa. That is crazy. That is selling out of the highest order. How can you sell out like that? That people have spent months and months protesting and were quiet. Did you ever see these guys talking? Did you ever see Grace Mugabe talking? Did you ever see Kasukuwere talking? Or Mzembe talking? People were protesting by themselves. Now they want to sneak into power through a negotiation with Mnangagwa. How can that be allowed? So, guys, I was busy mobilizing people. Nyokayemabhunu was busy mobilizing people. And they just want to take everything. Like at the end, they want to show up and go into coalition with Mnangagwa. Don't be allowed. That is crazy. So we won't allow it. And I'll be here. We'll deal with it very, very heavily. And they are lying. So they go out and they mobilize a lot of people to lie about me, to lie about Nyoka, to lie about Ndarageza. Do you see the lies that I'm making about Ndarageza? Ndarageza has been bought weakening. That won't happen. They lie that Gambakwe this, Gambakwe that. They make groups and make fake death threats on me. That won't be allowed. They will not succeed. All those things are emanating from the G40 guys. The G40 guys are very dangerous. They love power, and they think that they can do it through Mnangagwa. They think they can bypass the people that have done the work. It won't happen. In Mnangagwa, God has taken him out. Mnangagwa is out. Spiritually, Mnangagwa is already out of power. And you will never come back. Mnangagwa will never come back again. So this is the 12th. We are on Thursday. I expect that Auxilia has already left Zimbabwe. She is speaking on Monday. So she's already in the UK. If you're in the UK, Batai Moon, Uyo. Batai Auxilia, United Kingdom. Don't allow her inside there. Make sure that she suffers. She is at this place. I'll show you the place where she is. Let's look for the hotel. What is that hotel where Auxilia is? It's called the Leonardo Royal Hotel of London. Make this place hell for her. So if you're in the UK, this is the place, Leonardo Royal Hotel, on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Make this place, go and camp here. Make sure that Auxilia Mnangagwa understands that the human rights violations that they're carrying out in Zimbabwe are not allowed. They're not acceptable in the UK. And make sure that these organizers understand it also. Okay, I think I've covered most of the stuff I wanted to cover. There's just one or two things here. Let's look at Zambia. I want again to look at Zambia. Zambia is very interesting for me because we've got a crisis over there. Let's see if there's any newspapers from Zambia that I have not covered and what they say. And remember, we're back today a lot. So today there's no new newspaper in Zambia. They haven't published. And I'll let you guys know as soon as they do. So I think we've covered everything. Let us recap. We said the lawyers, some of the lawyers of Nyokayemabhunu, not the lawyers that we're working with, have had a secret meeting with someone who was sent by Mnangagwa from Zimbabwe within the past 2 weeks. We don't know what they discussed. We don't know what the outcome of the discussion is. But we've said that they will not allow Nyokayemabhunu to come out. If Nyokayemabhunu is granted bail today, we've got a crisis. Something is going to happen. And we need to be careful. We need proper finance. So guys, if you've got money, send some money here so that we can get Nyokayemabhunu into a private and safe place. And also, we still need to pay for bail. So send us some money here. We are going to account for your money with a report. So as soon as everything's settled, and Nyoka is going to take care of his business when he's out, I'm going to hand over his business to him. But for now, we need him to have some money. So send us something today, this morning, as soon as possible. However, Mnangagwa will not allow Nyoka to come out. He is going to do everything in his power, including taking out or causing a chaos in the court. Expect something today if Nyoka is granted bail. So it's going to be a very dangerous moment for us. And we're well aware that Mnangagwa has got plans for this situation where Nyoka comes out. We don't know why the Mnangagwa sent people to meet Nyoka's lawyers. Some of them, not our lawyers. So remember, we've got Yugi who works with us. She did not meet Mnangagwa's envoys. But there are people who have met Mnangagwa's people. And we don't know why they've met those people. So we must be very careful because I am very concerned about Mnangagwa and his activities. He's a very dangerous person. Mnangagwa arikura vanhu nenzara, and he will never stop. He will make sure that he keeps stealing your money and putting it in his pocket. That is what he wants. That is the job of Mnangagwa. So let's see what happens today. If Nyoka is denied bail, my sources say there's going to be massive violence. So be very careful. Stay away from violence. Don't be part of it. And what I can say is that there's high stakes here. What we are watching is the biggest moment in history. If Nyoka comes out, Mnangagwa is going back to Bikita, kunotamba mchongoyo. Do you think Mnangagwa is going to allow himself to go home and play mchongoyo? So this is the problem. We have a massive moment here. And today is going to be defining. Gambakwe, are you the one receiving the donations? You're asking people to give towards Nyoka. Why don't it be received by Nyoka's family? Because Nyoka's family are not paying the lawyers. The Nyoka's family, who is Nyoka's family? Isusu. Inini, I appoint the lawyers. And we pay them and we report. The donations are not for family. They're for the lawyers' fees. And when Nyoka comes out, where is he going to go? Who is going to take him? Are you guys sure that you'll be willing to sit in the same car with Nyoka when he comes out? Who do you think will protect Nyoka ahead of this next court sitting? Remember, the purpose of today is to give him bail and then to tell him when to come back to court. Let's say they give him 2 months. Who is going to protect Nyoka in 2 months? So guys, be aware. What we are facing here is big. It's very big. And it's time Yokutamba. Don't joke around with what's happening. It's very bad. We have a bad situation on our hands. And the Nyoka could be taken out. Because Mnangagwa's biggest threat right now is Nyoka. There is no opposition player right now as dangerous as Nyoka to Mnangagwa. Be aware. And most of the people that are saying Nyoka, 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 they are not Nyoka supporters. They are working with the people who are against Nyoka. So be careful about what happens here. So that is all I have to say regarding this situation. We'll be back here at around 12 to give an update. But just keep your fingers crossed. Something big is about to happen today. A defining moment for Zimbabwe. Nyoka, probably the biggest opposition figure right now. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you again very, very soon. We're going to be following the story of Mzembe, Kasukuwere, Grace Mugabe, Jonathan Moyo. These guys are trying to sneak into power. They won't do it. They won't be allowed to do it. They are going to lose. And don't support people that lie. So all the lies that you've been seeing about me and all the death threats have been emanating from the G40 guys. Anakasukuwere, they've been campaigning and orchestrating these lies. But they've been exposed very badly because it was just a matter of time. They can't stop. Their love for power is too much. They can't wait. They are going to love power and try to sneak into power, but they will lose. So I know that they watch here. Kasukuwere is going to lose. Mzembe, you're going to lose. Grace Mugabe, you're going to lose. Jonathan Moyo, you're going to lose. The people of this country are not going to allow you to sneak into power like they're trying to do. They're trying to sneak into power. They won't. And Mdarageza, he's with the people. Nyokayemabhunu, he's with the people. Mdara Chiwenga, he's with the people. And Chamisa, he's with the people. Those are the people that we know. We don't know these other ones. They're trying to sneak into power through a negotiation with Mnangagwa. And people don't want it. No one has got an appetite for a negotiation with Mnangagwa. Thank you very much, everybody. James says, Gambakwe, as long as Gambakwe is not transparent, i.e. handling donations, people, I never handle donations. So we receive money, we report, there is a report, we're going to give you another report next week of all the money. And I put my own money in it. Do you think the flights that I'm taking and the hotels where I'm staying are being paid by who? Like, I've taken 10 flights now. Who do you think is paid those 10 flights and those 20, 30 days I spend in hotels? I am putting my own money. I've got skin in this game. Guys, Gambakwe, it sounds like G40 took something away from me. No. G40, they are slimy characters. They put people on their platforms to lie. To lie that Gambakwe, you did this. Don't lie, let Gambakwe do this. I am the person that is making sure that Nyoka's case is heard. I am the one that is talking to the lawyers. That is, make sure that the lawyers are paid. I'm the one who's making sure that Nyoka is going to be safe when he comes out. Today, they don't have bail money. 2,000 rands. $100. That's all we need. No one has got that $100 as we speak. Do you think these people can go into power? And myself, my democratic credentials are unquestionable. You cannot question Gambakwe. I have been this person since 1998. And you have seen me, never in a moment have you seen me pulling back at the critical moments. So at the critical moments, I am there. That is why you know me, because we are there at the critical moments. The G40, what do? They sit back. And at the moment when they think that they can sneak into power, they strike. This moment, they think Geza has failed. That's why you see Mzambi coming out. He thinks Geza has failed. Grace Mugabe comes out. They think Geza has failed. They can now go and say, we told Geza, we are now the people that can negotiate with you. We want to go into power. That is what Mzambi is doing. Kasukwere, Grace Mugabe, Jonathan Moore. Terrible. And we will not allow these people to sneak into power. Because no one wants to negotiate with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa is gone. Right. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'm enjoying my voice too much. I like it. Yes, Mkoma, please send us $100. Here is the number. I will appreciate it if you send us $100, guys. We want to pay bail today. It's $100 only. The problem is now we need to take him in a hotel. We need to get security for him. We need to make sure that doesn't get killed when he gets out. Because the very people that are working closest to Nyoka have been working with these people, with Ana Kasukwe and Ana Kamzembe and all that. No wonder why we never got a cent for Nyoka. Do you know that no one of substance or any of these senior people have ever contributed anything? Because they wanted him to stay inside. That is clear now. So that they can tell Mnangagwa that we're not part of it. All right. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And I'll see you again within the next few hours. And a good day to you all.
Zvikananda zviri kumedza go ifanika anakonda